Last time I told you how I accidentally got into this industry. A one-liner, no payment, 2 takes, and I'm on my way back to drama school. But once I was in, what I found was nothing like I expected. Because from the outside, voiceover looks like one thing. In my head was very glamorous. But from the inside, it's a whole ecosystem that most actors have no map for. So today, I'm going to give you that map. Most people think voiceover means TV commercials or animations, but there are several others. Let's go over them. The commercial is the most competitive, the best paid per job, but also the hardest to break in without an agent. The corporate and training materials, those health and safety videos, e-learning, internal communications, they are far less glamorous, but consistent work and very accessible for newcomers. Documentary and factual series, this is where I spend a lot of my career. Narration, on-screen talent dubbing on a foreign language version. Animation. This is a completely different discipline. You need character voices, timing, energy. That's what it makes it. That Indian animation we produced for the UK cinema release was one of the most technically demanding projects I ever worked on. There's also dubbing drama and series, and for this one I think I will dedicate a whole video because it does deserve. What I want to say is, each one of these worlds has different rates, different relationships, and different ways in. They are not so interchangeable. What I want to say honestly is something that shaped my career significantly. Being able to work both in English and Portuguese was not just a nice extra, it doubled the number of rooms I could walk into work. The demand for authentic native voices in languages other than English is enormous and consistently undersupplied. So if you are bilingual or multilingual and you are not actively using that for voiceover, you are leaving work on the table. The industry doesn't advertise this because it doesn't need to. The people who know. Now you know. Other biggest assumption is that a good speaking voice is enough. It's not even close to enough. Voiceover is not about having a beautiful voice. Look, mine for instance. It's about control, consistency, and the ability to adjust instantly. The second assumption is that acting experience transfers automatically. Some of it does, like objective, listening, specificity, all of that is helpful. But stage habits like projection, physicality, playing to a room, those work against you in the booth. The microphone rewards intimacy and honesty. It punishes loud performances. The third assumption is that you need a home studio to get started. Honestly, it depends entirely of what work you are going to do and who's your client. We'll come back later in detail. Something I only understood fully when I moved to the production side is actors think performance is the product. It is not. The performance is the raw material. What the editor does with it, the pace, the cuts, the music that goes underneath, the picture that sits against, that shapes what the audience actually hears and feels. I've heard mediocre takes become extraordinary in the edit, but I also heard brilliant takes lose everything because the picture demanded something completely different. This doesn't mean performance doesn't matter. It means understanding your role in a larger process is very important. You're not making the finished product. You are giving the editor something to work with. The actors who understand this are easier to direct and far more useful in the booth. The next time we go deeper into the thing that nobody talks about, what actually gets you the job, and more importantly, what keeps you working. Because those are two completely different questions with two completely different answers. So you want more of this, you know where to find it.